Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Super Metroid Triple Bingo Tournament featuring Thorneto and Farrell, two very accomplished runners in both vanilla categories and non-vanilla categories. And this should be a really exciting tournament match. With me today is Zeb316. Zeb, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I'm also really looking forward to this match. This is actually one of the ones that I'm looking forward to the most, because while Farrell is a very accomplished Super Metroid runner, he hasn't done a whole lot for a little while, so he's a little rusty. I'm excited to see how this match turns out.
It's like you read my mind. Is one of the reasons I was most interested in jumping on commentary right here is because Farrell is in the match, and I know Thorneto from some other Super Metroid tournaments we've had, but Farrell has a lot of really top times in a lot of vanilla categories. Any percents, hundo, RBO, low percent ice. Farrell's a very accomplished runner, but we have not seen too much of them in recent times, but Farrell's done a lot in the behind the scenes moderating and tournament organizing and all that. So that was definitely going to be a big win today to see how they play. And Thor is a really great up and coming runner. Has done a really great job in a lot of different tournament matches. So it'll be really exciting to see how the two match up together.
So looking at the card, the first thing that I notice is that middle tile. The middle tile is the most important tile because there are four different ways you can have it in a row, column, or diagonal. And it has collect, plasma beam, and skip space jump, and that's a really rough tile. Anything that requires you to collect plasma beam means you need to kill Dragon and get all the way there. Means you probably need to get gravity suit, probably one of speed or ice. So that's a really, really rough tile to have in the middle.
Yeah, so you got to imagine that gravity suit is going to be on their minds for sure, because that would be a really slow haul to get everything you'd need for Supless Meridia, to get up there. And yeah, that'll be kind of exciting to see how our runners route this. And if I'm correct, the runners don't get the bingo card until right before the match. So this kind of escape from series operates as, giving you a little bit of time to check out the card and start planning your route.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see sometimes the runners will make a lot of mistakes that they normally wouldn't make in series because they're just so focused on trying to figure out what's going on with the card. So if they're not moving the way that they normally would be, that's just kind of to be expected. Like you can see Thorneto here getting stuck. Gonna have like a 34 series time. That's totally okay.
That's definitely not the normal series you'd see from Thor. Thor is a really solid runner, but yeah, exactly. I actually have very limited experience with bingo. My experience is just from watching and listening to other people's commentary. So I'm really excited to see how they route and what they choose to pick up. And for those that aren't sure, we are using a vanilla ROM, so all of the items are going to be in their vanilla locations. So as they route through, you might see them pick up a lot of things. It might look like they're going for one tile. It might not be, completely obvious what they're doing at first, or who's ahead or who's behind, until we start seeing some of these blocks checked off.
Yeah, for sure. It's really hard to, even after we see a couple of these blocks getting checked off, it might be hard to tell what the runners are thinking about doing. Um, just kind of have to wait and see and maybe speculate some. But
Yeah, we do have a question in chat. Does one statue require you to visit G4? I believe that you have to visit G4 to destroy that statue. You actually physically have to go. So that bottom left tile, destroy at least one statue. You do have to enter the G4 room and wait for that statue to be destroyed.
yep, that's correct.
I also think it's really cool when you watch Triple Bingo, you end up seeing a lot of different rooms that you would not normally see unless you like, categories like Total Completion or Mapo, because there's the potential to go pick up map stations or to go check out recharge stations. There's everybody's favorite tile there in the middle left, fully explore the wrecked ship. That will involve basically making every tile in the wrecked ship area pink. So, yeah. I like some of the other ones. Collect only one of Wave Beam or Charge Beam, so you'll
Yeah,
get to see a lot of really interesting movement. And it really you really have to be kind of a master of a lot of different ways to play Super Metroid to be able to be successful in a bingo tournament. Because just like randomizer, you're going to visit a lot of rooms without the same kind of loadouts you'd have in, probably, the more common runs like any percent or 100%. You really have to know, you might have to move without high jump boots. You might have to rely on ammo rather than beam attacks. And knowledge of the map is especially, important as well, because things like 20 power bombs, if you're only used to running a category like any percent, you might not know all the locations of power bombs. And they're not always in, I guess, linear locations, I would say.
Yeah, and also, even if you do a lot of rando where you're trying to check literally every item, you don't necessarily know what those vanilla items are. So you might know, well, there's an item here, but I don't know what exactly is here in vanilla. So
What kind of
a lot of knowledge for that.
What kind of a runner would you think would have the greatest advantage going into a triple bingo? I would say you'd have to be more well-rounded for triple bingo than you would for either randomizer or vanilla.
I'd agree with that. I think that having a lot of rando experience can help, but also having maybe some hundo experience, so that like all of the different items, could also help. Even having like low percent experience, so that you know how to move on very few items, can help too.
I think it's also very interesting if you're taking a look at all these different tiles here. You have Finish in the Metal Pirate Room, which is in Lower Norfair. So you're, gonna. I would imagine we would be picking up the Varia suit in order to do that. But that's kind of interesting. I feel like I've heard in the past that bingo does not always have a lot of Lower Norfair action going on. Usually, most of it you find Crateria or Wreck Ship or Upper Norfair.
Yeah, it's pretty common to try to avoid Lower Norfair, because if you're already planning on going to like Wreck Ship and Meridia, then you don't also want to have to go to Lower Norfair. Sometimes it's really good to go to Lower Norfair if you can completely avoid Meridia. There are times, and if you don't need to like go back to Brinstar after getting Speed Booster, then it can be okay, or sometimes even really good to go to Lower Norfair. But if you have to go to other places, then it gets a lot tougher to go to Norfair too, or Lower Norfair.
One thing I particularly like about the bingo card, just kind of looking at it right now, it's really interesting to see how items are going to be picked up. For instance, like collect Spring Ball but skip Grapple Beam. So you're going to have to know how to do the ice clip on the Puyo to get in there to do that. So that could be pretty neat. I'm going to say that's one I would try to avoid. So I'm looking at that row and what's in that row, and I'm going to be like, I don't know if I'm going to want to do any of that.
Another couple that are interesting, Wreck Ship Reserve Tank. That's one that makes you want to go down first. A lot of times in bingo, you want to go up first and get your gravity suit and just completely skip parade. But that one really pushes you to go down first so you can get that speed booster before going to Fantoon. Also, both missile recharge stations, that kind of pushes you down first a little bit too. Not as much, because even if you go up first, you can still go to the missile refill right before parade. But it does make you want to go down first a little bit more. And
I like the... Oh, go ahead.
Hero picked up the Brinstar reserve, it looked like.
Yeah, and with a beautiful reverse mock ball coming out of that room. I like that pickup, just in case there's, the potential to do early hell runs and just to have that reserve. But also, if you're not finding a lot of E-tanks along your way, depending on what your route is, it's a nice little extra safety to stay alive.
I don't see anything that deals with that reserve, though. Is there?
No tiles there, so that could just be a safety that Ferrell's decided to pick up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Did Dora also pick it up, that I saw?
Yes, they actually both did pick up the reserve.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't normally expect that, unless... I don't see any, 2 or 3 reserves, so it looks like it... Oh, no, it's the collect X E-tanks and 11 minus X reserve tanks. That's what they're planning.
There you go. I think so. What you're probably going to see a lot of is runners are going to just kind of, as they scan the card, noticing collect all 15 Brinstar super missiles, 20 plus power bombs. They might try to plan ahead for some of those things. It looks like Farrell is fighting Spore Spawn right now, and that is a tile right. Bottom second from the left defeats Spore Spawn and Batoon. So it looks like Farrell's already planning on adding that into his route. And Thor, we'll see what Thor decides to do. Thor is possibly skipping Spore Spawn, going down in Big Pink.
Which I don't mind, even if you're planning on doing it. A lot of times you have to come back to Big Pink anyway. And sometimes you kind of want to keep your... you kind of want to weigh in Spore Spawn, because if you go in and you don't have that many supers, it can end up being a pretty long fight. Whereas later, you're more likely to just have more supers that you can use.
But you'd also had mentioned earlier about collecting Plasma Beam, and I actually see at least 2 tiles that collect Plasma Beam, and if you can route your way to Spore Spawn later, you can one-shot Spore Spawn with a charged Plasma Shot. So that could be something that is potentially on Thor's mind. Farrell doing a pretty decent job Doppelering some missiles in the Spore Spawn.
Yeah, I wouldn't really expect to come back to finish Spore Spawn like that. Just because it takes a long time to go from Plasma to Spore Spawn. Normally you kind of want to finish at Plasma if you're getting Plasma. But it could be something that he's thinking about if he needs to finish somewhere else too.
It looks like our 2 finishing tiles, we have a finishing tile in the Spring Ball room and a finishing tile in the Metal Pyre room. So one in Lower Norfair, one in Meridia, trying to see if there's any more finished locations. But if there's not a specific finished location, then my guess is once you fill your 3 rows or columns, you're good.
Yeah. So interestingly, Thor is going down. That means, to me, it makes it more likely that he's going for the Wreck Ship Reserve Tank tile, although not necessarily 100% that he is. He got the first Brinstar missile recharge station, so he's almost certainly going to get this one too. I kind of like getting it after beating Kraid, because otherwise you lose the super for the Kraid fight. It looks like he's getting it before, though. So now he has completed get both Brinstar missile recharge stations, but this will make his Kraid fight a little bit awkward, unless he does the 2 missile 3 super strat.
There we go. We get the setup. Come on, Thor.
And he's got it. Nice.
It's always a relief when you get that kill, because at the very least you saved a little bit of time and you don't have to worry about farming for anything while Kraid's standing up.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Feral is going up, so we're gonna have some route divergence here.
Did Farrell collect the charge beam? I think Thor did.
I did not see if Feral did or not. Are there any tiles on here that... I don't think that any tiles ask about charge beam. So.
Well, there is one. If you look at second, it says collect only 1 of wave beam or charge beam. So at least Thor has got that tile completed.
You're right.
But it says only 1. So does he lose?
I'm guessing that
if he doesn't
Feral
collect wave?
got it too. I'm pretty sure that he got it, but because that's an easy tile to get, and if you're getting one or the other, then you definitely want to get charge beam.
Now here's the thing. It says collect only 1 of wave or charge beam. So if they do pick up wave, does that negate the tile? Because they would have both beams? It does. Okay, so we'll be on the lookout, and hopefully the runners will remember that is there. Although I don't know that it's likely. I don't see any real tiles for picking up a lot of missiles, so I don't know how likely it is that they'll go into double chamber at all.
Yeah, I don't think that they will. I think that they'll just skip the wave beam.
So, and Farrell's picking up power bombs right now, so could be going for either the 10 plus power bomb tile or the 20 plus power bomb tile. There's also a 15 plus power bomb tile.
Yep, he has 10 now, so he completed the first of those.
So, and as the runners get further and further through and we start checking off some of these boxes here, it's going to be a little bit more obvious for what items they're going for. So, let's see. And Farrell is going to opt to go up either toward Wreck Ship or left to Criteria. I would guess Wreck Ship.
Yeah, I think that you want to go. You almost always want to go Wreck Ship first here, before going to Criteria, unless I'm guessing that the Destroy One statue is pretty likely to be completed here. So you normally want to wait until after Fantoon to go over there.
Very nice horizontal bomb jump from Farrell right there. Farrell is, I believe, an experienced new route runner.
Yeah,
so
he is for sure.
No problems there. And with that reserve tank, that's more energy than he would have in a normal new route run. So still a dangerous fight. And I don't know. I would imagine Farrell's going to want to go down to Spooky Missiles right here before fighting Fantoon, unless they're not planning on fully clearing Wreck Ship. Because that's not a room you want to enter in after the ship is turned on.
Yeah, I kind of would expect him not to fully clear Wreck Ship. That's a pretty rough tile, especially if you don't have Speed Booster. It just takes quite a while to do.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And Thor looks like they're going to get their Speed Booster.
Yep, getting their Speed Booster, and then I would expect maybe picking up Norfair Reserve. I think that would make a lot of sense, especially with both the collect XC tanks and 11-X reserves, and the Norfair Reserve or Wreck Ship Reserve. Although, I think that he's also planning on picking up the Wreck Ship Reserve, so it's not necessarily that he needs the Norfair Reserve for that bottom middle tile.
Really nice air Dopplers from Farrell. Just didn't get that wasn't able to get that super last missile in to finish off Fantoon. Oh, there you go. This is probably done right here. Oh!
Not quite.
It's hard sometimes when you're watching the stream here to see how many missiles they're actually connecting.
Mm-hmm. He ended up getting bailed out with a fast anyway, so.
Thor's setting up for this D-boost to get into the... Ooh, missing the D-boost.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal because he has high jump.
High jump, yep.
So you can just do this wall jump like you did. But... yeah, I normally don't even go for the D-boost. Just because with high jump it makes it a lot easier. If I don't have high jump, then I will. But...
the only time I do is in the multi-category tournament running Nintendo Power Percent. It's if you miss the spark coming out of Speed Hallway, it's much faster to do the D-boost than to go down and take that wall jump. But yeah, there's definitely one of the best things about this game is how many different ways you can move through a room, and runners can kind of choose what they feel most comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like Furo is just picking up the one super missile there. And he is going for the Wreck Ship tank.
Do they call this the sponge bath? You got to do a very specific bomb
bath.
Jump to get up there.
Yeah, this bomb jump's pretty tough, but he gets it.
Fortunately, it's a vanilla category, and Farrell didn't have to worry about doing that with power bombs, which I feel is like way harder than using bombs.
Yeah. Yeah, with power bombs, it's not exactly harder, but you just have less attempts at it. Because you're eventually going to run out of power bombs. And it looks like Thorneto is going to be getting the Ice Beam, so that will negate his collect only one of Speed or Ice tile, but it will
top right, there is an Ice Beam tile, yeah.
Get the other Ice Beam tile.
And for our viewers there, do we have, is Thor green? Yeah, Thor's green on the left, Farrell is purple on the right. Okay, I do see that marked off. It was not completely obvious to me right away. But for those of you following. Also worth mentioning that this is match 1 of 2. Farrell and Thor are both have decided that they're going to run these back-to-back. Mm-hmm. So we'll get to see 2 bingo matches between these two.
So given that Thor picked up Ice Beam and both missile recharge stations, I think that he might be going for column 5 of some sort. And if he's doing that, I'm expecting that he's going to try to avoid any plasma beam or Dragon kind of stuff. If he can at all. Whereas for Feral, it's less clear to me what he's doing so far. I think that he's probably doing column 2. Given that he defeated Spore Spawn, and he's going to be defeating Botwoon at some point. And he collected the reserve tank, which signals to me that he's collecting X E-tanks and 11-X reserves. But
Also,
I'm not sure what else he's planning on doing.
Well, without having speed, we know for sure that he's not planning on getting the wreck ship reserve tank, and definitely not planning on full clearing wreck ship. So that takes out row 1, column 1, and row 1. Yeah, there's no.
I would also expect that he's not going to want to pick up all 15 Norfair power bombs. Although maybe there might be.
It's kind of interesting because if you look at the purple that Feral has, Feral's picked up, one of the beams, the 10 power bombs. So, I mean, if you're doing that diagonal there, I don't know, could be interesting.
He could try to completely... No, he can't avoid Meridian, never mind. He has to go Botwoon. So yeah, I don't think that he wants to do the 15 power bombs. 15 Norfair power bombs.
So if at any point my commentary is a little behind, I can read the tiles a little bit easier on the restream and not so much on what I'm watching the the match on, so I apologize if I'm late on anything.
We'll see if Thor elects to pick up these power bombs. These ones are pretty easy to pick up, but he might want to pick up other ones. He might not be going for the 10 power bomb pile, but it looks like he will be picking these up.
Feral heading into Criteria right now. So we've got 2 E-tanks at Criteria, so I think that's... I think we're probably looking at Feral's probably going to go to collect all the Norfair power bombs, both Criteria E-tanks. That looks like a very, very strong potential to finish that column off. Or that row.
I don't think that we're going to see him collect the 15 Norfair power bombs, but I think that the column 3 might be what he's looking at. 15 Norfair power bombs means that he has to go all the way to Lower Norfair, and he has to kill Croc.
Good point.
So, I wouldn't really expect that, but I could be wrong. He might be going for it. He might dip into Meridia, kill Botwoon, and then head out, and just go do that.
It'll be interesting to see how much of Wreck Ship Thor decides to do. Thor could potentially be going to clear Wreck Ship, does have speed, does have enough to do that.
I think that you actually are right that he will be collecting the 15 Norfair power bombs because he did collect the first missile rebuild station. So that means that that's all that's left in that row. So I think that that is his plan. I'm curious how he routes that though. Like, what else he plans to do with it.
I do love these categories where we can go through the back of Gauntlet without having to worry about picking up those missiles. You just tear through it.
Very nice.
You run a lot of vanilla like Hundo, for instance, you don't get a chance to do that. That's always a really scary part of the run.
Not getting the statues, so he's not planning on doing anything with that bottom left tile.
So Thor having a pretty dangerous Phantoon fight here. 79 energy. I don't know how much they have in their reserves. Should be able to survive it, no problem. But Varia's suit, you definitely take a lot of. What do you take? 30 damage per hit.
20.
20 damage.
So, just needs to be a little bit careful.
If I know Thor from watching Thor, Thor is not often careful.
Yeah, that is true.
Thor goes hard.
I think basically he just needs to avoid Sunrise Surprise, though. He should be fine.
Very fortunate I've never gotten Sunrise Surprise, but for what I understand is that when you get hit with all the flames at once, I forget exactly what that is. I
Yep,
just know it's
pretty
really
much.
bad.
Yeah, you get hit by all the flames. Fearl's just collected all 15 Brinstar Supers. And it looks like he's going to get this Power Bomb. So,
Come on, Thor gets it just in
Thor
time
got it.
before the reserves could set off. All right.
I think that he's got a good amount in his reserves because he was still getting missile drops at the end there. And if you have under 30 health in total between your reserves and your actual health, then you end up getting health bombed. But he did not. So Firo just got 15 power bombs. Which he needs to get to 20 power bombs anyway, so that doesn't really say too much. Thor not getting the Wreckship energy tank.
So perhaps
Thor
Thor is deciding not to do not to full clear Wreckship.
Yep. Not super surprised by that. It's even with the speed booster, it's still a pretty bad tile.
Yeah, and it's only one tile. You know, I mean, if you have a lot of, you know, if you have to pick up a lot of the stuff to fill out, you know, to check off other boxes, it might be worth it. But there's really not a lot of. Doesn't look like there's a lot of things for Wreckship aside from that you could pick up just by going through that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of would be nice if you're picking up both the reserve and the E-tank for other tiles, but I think that he's just going to pick up the reserve, so.
Let's see, looking at some of these tiles here. Collect X energy tanks.
I think Firo so far, he's got 1 reserve, and he's got 5 energy tanks so far. So he still needs another 5 energy tanks or reserves. Thor does need to be... his health is fine. He's going to want to get the reserve tank, so he needs to keep himself somewhat high, but he has enough. Firo now has 20 power bombs.
Shouldn't be a problem if Thor wants to get that reserve. Can, you know, I don't know how much they... What do they have, 114? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
It's not like Hunter where you have to worry about saving your energy for the Gauntlet Spark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess made his way out of Big Pink now. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, at glance, you know, if you look at how much is filled in right now, it looks like Farrell is significantly ahead, but depends on exactly how he's planning on routing it from here.
This is interesting. Him getting this power bomb. So this is number 25, right?
I believe so.
I don't see anything that would want 25 or more.
Is he going to get the E-Tank maybe? And the
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
E-Tank?
He Thor skillfully dodging that missile. Yeah, I think that he was planning getting the C-Tank. I think that he could have skipped a different power bomb then.
Probably, or could have just forgotten how many power bomb packs they had and just wanted to make sure they had enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they don't want the 15 Norfair power bombs again. Maybe I'm back to that. I don't know.
It's kind of like when you're doing comms for this, it's like, it's all speculation.
And did Norfair, or did Thor pick up that reserve, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's top left for Thor. So it looks like, Farrell is going, you know, collecting the energy tanks and reserve tanks, defeating Spore Spawn and Batuan, so we know that, and collect all Norfair, 15 Norfair power bombs, so I guess that's probably on Farrell's plan. So looks like he's doing what is it? I don't even know how to say the rows and columns. Rows go left to right, columns go up and down, right?
So if he's doing the 15 Norfair power bombs, then he's doing row 2 and column 2 almost certainly.
Yeah.
Thor has 15 power bombs now. Oops.
Looks like Thor might want to be doing the first top 2 rows, because I can't imagine that they'd want to get X-ray scope, finish in spring ball room, collect spring ball, and skip grapple. That sounds like quite a lot, and that ice clip is very, very hard unless you have space jump and you're very familiar with the setup.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely doing row 1. I'm not exactly sure what else he's doing.
Could be going for that diagonal and also maybe column 3.
Column 3. Yeah, column 3. I think no, column 3 he can't do anymore because he collected both speed and ice.
Oh, okay, good point.
Well, Feral, we know for sure, is getting X-ray.
Yes.
So, that's interesting.
That is interesting. I wonder if he's leaving his options open or has plans to go back to Rec Ship to get that reserve at some point.
Oh man, it almost looks like he would be doing row 5, but he didn't destroy a statue. If he were planning on getting all 15 Norfair power bombs, then doing row 5 wouldn't be too bad because he would already be down in lower Norfair to get those power bombs, and finishing a Metal Pirates room is right next to that. But because he didn't destroy the statue, I think that I'm not sure that that's what he's going to be able to do.
Let me just tell you, I'm so glad that I'm
Thor didn't
commentating and
destroy
not
the
running
statue,
this.
right?
Has not yet.
Okay, yep. So he is not doing that either.
Is in chat, hard to draw conclusions with Feral shooting a bit on every row. I mean, that's exactly how I feel looking at it right now. It's just kind of fun to kind of think about where they're going and just kind of taking a look at some of the strats. Feral doing a lot of deboosting, get through all of these rooms, and Thor doing a few things we've already seen Feral do.
So Feral is going to the missile recharge, I'm over here. So he's going to be completing that one in column 5. The both Brinstar missile recharges. It looks like Thor is going to be picking up all 15 Brinstar supers, if I had to guess. Thor has speed booster, so he'll be able to pick up an extra E-tank here too. Because he will be able to collect Waterway, which isn't too bad. Like, not too bad of a time loss compared to some other E-tanks. But requires the speed booster.
Either way, I think it's pretty safe to say that both of our runners are going to be heading to Meridia fairly late in their routing.
Yeah, for sure.
If not at the very end.
I'm really curious what Feral's trying to do, because he's really close to just being able to avoid Meridia, but not quite, it doesn't seem like, to me.
Showing their knowledge of the game, using power bombs to kill the pirates instead of missiles, because Feral has no missiles.
Yeah.
Saving those supers too, which is always a good plan, regardless of category.
So it looks like Thor will be killing Spore Spawn and Bot Wound, given that he's going up here. And this isn't too bad too, because you get to kind of have the super missile on the way, which is something that he already wanted to have.
Yeah, like if you're really good,
picking up ice. What were you saying?
If you're really good at timing your shot on Spore Spawn, you can get 2 supers in per round, or a missile and a super.
Yeah, you can definitely get a 2-round, but it's pretty difficult.
Oh, I meant 2 supers per round. So I would, 2-round is really hard. I do know that Spore Spawn is kind of unique. Is you can almost freeze Spore Spawn's mouth open, similar to Kraid, but you can only do it, I think, in the 2nd round. It's really weird how that mechanic works. I learned that from, I think, Mr. Guy Average in the multi-category tournament. One of the comms for that. I saw Seuss Ream actually get a really It's a really amazing 2-round against Force Spawn. I don't even know how that's possible, but it's ridiculous.
Also, did you see, did Thor pick up those power bombs at the bottom of Green Brinstar? The animal?
At the Eddie Coons, geez, you know what? I did not happen to notice.
I think that he did. I think that he went down after getting the E-Tank.
Maybe somebody in chat can confirm. We have
Yeah, he
confirmation he did. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're already down there anyways, why not?
Yeah. I expected that he did, but I wasn't 100%, so.
I knew for a fact, you know, now that I think about it, I do remember watching Thor deboost through that spiky room, so yeah.
Now he has all 15 Brinstar Supers, too. So it looks like Thor is doing column 2 and probably row 1. It'll be interesting to see what his last tile he chooses is. I would kind of expect column 5, given that he got both Brinstar missile recharges.
Yeah, but column 5 is
But
just
he also got
grapple beam. That's crazy to me.
he already got both Praetorian energy tanks too, though, didn't he?
Which ones are the crates?
He got Gauntlet. Okay, I'm pretty sure Thorneto would just need to get
definitely
Gauntlet.
got Gauntlet.
Yeah, so he got that. Yeah, I was thinking row 2, column 2. I have no idea what the last one for Feral will be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's as we're saying that, we have chat saying the same thing. Looks like Farrell's trying to complete the whole board. It is pretty interesting. I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of bingo cards tend to be very ammo heavy, especially picking up lots of missiles and things. And this one seems far less ammo heavy than some of the triple bingos I've seen.
Yeah, for sure. It's just kind of taking you all around the world instead of giving you the ammo cards.
I don't know why I have this feeling that Farrell is going to eventually end up going back for the Wreck Ship Reserve. It sounds like that's really far out of the way, but let's see. 1, 2.
If he's going to Lower Norfair to get those power bombs, I can't imagine him doing
that.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that either. I'm trying to see. I still think collect all 15 Norfair power bombs is definitely going to be a big part of their route.
And this is a pretty big sign. Thorneto picking up this X-ray. And I think that he is planning on doing column 5. I think that... wait. No, top left, bottom right. That makes way more sense, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Because they have picked up the Wreck Ship Reserve. And so we'll be collecting then either Plasma Beam... collect Plasma Beam and skip Space Jump. So that looks really likely for Thor.
I think if he was doing this, he should have done top right, bottom left, too. And just destroyed a statue.
Could you imagine if that would be what would cost the race, having to go all the way back and route back to the statue when he's already been through there?
Yeah, he's still got a triple bingo that he can do. I think. Yeah, he can just do row 1, column 2, and top left, bottom right. And Farrell picked up that Norfair Reserve. And Farrell is heading back into Meridia.
No, looks like. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong screen. My bad. So if you're a Norfair anyways, might as well pick up Speed Booster. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you need to, it's a quicker way to get yourself through the game.
Yeah, if you can avoid going through Cathedral at all, sometimes it can be worth it to go into Norfair, just pick up Ice Beam and High Jump and then leave. But if you're going back over there, then yeah, picking up Speed Booster is normally worth it, unless you have to skip it.
Just for my curiosity, the Norfair map station, is that the powerbomb room above High Jump Boots?
Yep, it is.
Okay.
Thor almost ran out of supers there. That could have been bad. Looks like Thor and Feral are going to be picking up this map station.
Kind of nice that you don't need to activate the map station. You can just kind of go in the room, go out of the room.
Oh, I wonder if they're thinking about row 4. What's the reason to get that map station? It looked like Thor had a really good plan, just going, like, through Meridia to Plasma Beam to get there. But now it looks like he's doing row 4 and column 5, maybe? Something else? And he's just... Oh, with column 2. I think the Thorneto is going to do row 4, column 5, and column 2.
Now, is it wise to try to have a backup row or a backup column just in case you know, happen to fail something or something ends up not working out?
It can be, but it's hard to, like, do that. Like, you just need to, like, commit to something based on doing that. Yeah, it looks like Thorneto, I think that he's going to go kill Bot Wound, get that energy tank, go through the reserve room. The reserve sandpit, and then go to the spring ball, and he'll be done then.
So are you feeling that Thor is ahead right now?
I don't see what Farrell's doing, so I'm not sure. If I saw what Farrell was doing, I would be more confident to know.
I mean,
I think that Farrell is also doing row 4, column 5 for what Farrell... Actually, I think they're doing the same thing. I think this is, like, super close.
That's what I was starting to kind of guess, just kind of looking at the map right here. I mean, we know Farrell has to kill Batoon, so probably
Thor has to go down left sandpit, actually, though. Whereas Farrell picked up that because Thor is going to need the reserve tank, whereas Farrell picked up Mama Turtle. So Farrell won't need it. I think that Farrell's ahead, but it probably come down to Ice Clip and who gets it faster. But both have X-ray, so they should be able to do it without quite as much issue as they otherwise would have.
This fight is going to take a really long time with ammo. This is not...
So Farrell ran out of ammo. Thor picked up these supers because he saw that he was, like, low on ammo. This could be a really big deal.
Yeah, this could be the race.
Missed the super. So...
Yeah, I don't want to fight...
Oh god, he missed 3 supers, I think, so far.
My goodness.
So I think... I'm not sure that Thor will finish this even before Farrell does at this point.
It's a really good thing they both picked up Charge Beam, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that column 2, column 5, row 4 is what Farrell's doing. And what Thor's doing, so... Yep, and Farrell finishes first. So as long as Farrell can get the Ice Clip and Thor finishes, as long as Farrell can get that Ice Clip quickly enough, I think that he should take this.
This is kind of neat, just how close it kind of ended up.
Yeah, this for sure. And it's interesting that they did different routes, even though they did the same rows and columns at the end.
Yeah, Norfair Power Bombs is a terrible square. I would agree with that. So, but your call was better than mine. Initially, I thought for sure that's the one he was going for.
Well, it kind of looked like it because he was getting everything else in that row. But...
So let's see how Farrell handles this.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you have to...
Thor fell down too.
You have to freeze the Puyo at a very specific spot in order to flip through there to get there without using Grapple Beam. So we could see a lot of room setting up. But I would bet Farrell knows all these esoteric strats.
Thor
was
picks up that reserve, so now he's got to get over to this ice clip room.
be a battle who gets it first. I think I've done the ice
that
clip
looks really
successfully
close,
twice, and I think it
that's
took me like 20 minutes each time to do it, or 10 minutes. It was just, I don't like this trick.
a little low. Yeah, this you need to freeze it like really low, but like basically right after it jumps, you have to freeze it.
The only normalized,
Thor is
ooh, that
getting
looks
over
good.
there.
No,
Nope.
the only normalized setup I know involves space jump and charge shot and like a specific damage boost.
You can also use X-ray. If you freeze it really high, you can use X-ray to clip through too. And I think that makes it easier. But so this will come down to whoever gets this first.
Oh, Farrell's
got
in.
it. So yep, Farrell's got this.
What a close race. Wow.
Yeah, this is crazy. And I think Thor's got it too. Oh, is that not quite? That looks really good to me.
So close.
I like freezing it at the highest point with X-ray and just using that. But maybe these runners don't know about that trick.
I was aware of it, but again, that's another one of the tricks that I've tried and I just have never been able to pull off. I always hope, whether I'm doing a rando, I'll never have to ever do this ice clip. So Farrell really getting close to the spring ball, and then that's that.
Yep. And GG to Farrell. Finishing in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 46:05.
Always really great to watch one of these races be so close.
Yeah, this one was crazy. If Farrell had just spent a little bit longer getting that ice clip, then Thor would have come away with the winner.
See if Thor will execute Shaq Tool or leave him alone.
Yeah, this one was hard to tell what they were doing too for a long time.
You know, a question I hadn't asked before, are they allowed to watch the restream for a triple bingo tournament? Or is that
Yes,
just...
they are.
They are, okay.
And GG to Thor as well. Finishing in second place with an official racetime.gg time of 46:49.
Yeah, GG to both runners, and if you're not already following the runners, please follow Thor, follow Farrell. They play a lot of really great Super Metroid, and please feel free to follow us as well. Hope you've enjoyed the match so far. I don't know if we're going to get them in for an interview or if they're going to go straight to race 2 or not, but we'll find out here momentarily.
It looks like they're just heading straight in, I think, but they might come in. We'll see.
Well, in the meantime, everybody get ready for more exciting Triple Bingo Super Metroid tournament action. Right after this, Thor and Farrell will do match number 2. And there's going to be a lot of Triple Bingo matches coming up, so check your SpeedGaming schedule. And thanks to SpeedGaming 3 for putting this on. It's been a really great show so far, and I'm really excited to see what our runners have for us next. Looks like Farrell said that he'd prefer going straight to it, but we'll see.
I guess they just don't want to talk to us. But... Okay, yep, looks like they're going to head straight into it.
Sounds good. Well, I guess we should close the episode and get ready for round 2.